the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 46. The word of the Lord which came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Gentiles, against Egypt, against the army of Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, which was by the river Euphrates in Carchemish, which Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, smote in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah. Order ye the buckler and shield, and draw near to battle. Harness the horses, and get up, ye horsemen, and stand forth with your helmets. Furbish the spears, and put on the brigandines. Wherefore have I seen them dismayed, and turned away back? And their mighty ones are beaten down, and are fled apace, and look not back. For fear was round about, saith the Lord. Let not the swift flee away, nor the mighty man escape. They shall stumble, and fall toward the north by the river Euphrates. Who is that cometh up as a flood, whose waters are moved as the rivers? Egypt riseth up like a flood, and his waters are moved like the rivers. And he saith, I will go up, and will cover the earth. I will destroy the city, and the inhabitants thereof. Come up, ye horses, and rage, ye chariots, and let the mighty men come forth, the Ethiopians and the Libyans. You see that? They're called mighty men, the Ethiopians and Libyans, that handle the shield, and the Lydians that handle and bend the bow. For this is the day of the Lord God of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge him of his adversaries, and the sword shall devour, and it shall be satiate and made drunk with their blood. For the Lord God of hosts hath a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates. Go up into Gilead, and take balm, O virgin, the daughter of Egypt. In vain shalt thou use many medicines, for thou shalt not be cured. The nations have heard of thy shame, and thy cry hath filled the land. For the mighty man hath stumbled against the mighty, and they are fallen both together. The word that the Lord spake to Jeremiah the prophet, how Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, should come and smite the land of Egypt. Declare ye in Egypt, and publish in Migdol, and publish in Noph, and in Tapanhes. Say ye, stand fast, and prepare thee, for the sword shall devour round about thee. Why are thy valiant men swept away? They stood not, because the Lord did drive them. He made many to fall, yea, one fell upon another, and they said, Arise, and let us go again to our own people, and to the land of our nativity, from the oppressing sword. They did cry there. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, is but a noise. He hath passed the time appointed. As I live, saith the king, whose name is the Lord of hosts, surely as Tabor is among the mountains, and as Carmel by the sea, so shall he come. O thou daughter dwelling in Egypt, furnish thyself to go into captivity, for Noph shall be waste and desolate without an inhabitant. Egypt is like a very fair heifer, but destruction cometh, it cometh out of the north. Trying to figure that out. Who are they going to get attacked by? Who's north to them? Assyria is kind of east. It's not going to be the Edomites, who's north. Also, her hired men are in the midst of her like fatted bullocks, for they are also turned back. See how he's comparing people to types of animals. I think in Enoch it does that. But of course, I have not read that yet. Just the first one. The rest of them are bad books. Only Enoch 1. But he's doing that here. This is being done. Not he. It's being done here. I guess it is he. Also, her hired men are in the midst of her like fatted bullocks, for they also are turned back and are fled away together. They did not stand because the day of their calamity was upon them, and the time of their visitation. The voice thereof shall go like a serpent, for they shall march with an army and come against her with axes as hewers of wood. They shall cut down her forests, saith the Lord, though it cannot be searched, because there are more than grasshoppers and are innumerable. That's interesting. I wonder what it has to do with their little gods that they all have everywhere in Egypt, all the gods. Maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know. I don't understand it. The daughter of Egypt shall be confounded. Just like I was right here. She shall be delivered into the hand of the people of the north. So we'll figure out who is taking them. The Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, saith, behold, I will punish the multitude of No. And Pharaoh and Egypt with their gods and their kings, even Pharaoh and all them that trust in him. So there's a place called No, N-O. And I will deliver them into the hand of those that seek their lives, and into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of his servants. And afterward it shall be inhabited as in the days of old, saith the Lord. But fear not thou. That's kind of scary. What does that mean? It shall be inhabited as in the days of old. What are they talking about? That sounds scary. Talking about Egypt. It's like the worst, the oldest pharaohs, and well, the oldest people are scarier and more ancient, and I don't know who they're talking about there. So that's kind of worrisome. That Nebuchadnezzar is going to come in and kill everybody, and after that, it's going to be inhabited as in the days of old. Who knows what that means, too? But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel, for behold. Are we going back to... It sounds like we're going back to Jacob in the 400 years. I can't tell. But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel. For behold, I will save thee from afar off, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and be in rest and at ease, and none shall make him afraid. Fear thou not, O Jacob my servant, saith the Lord, for I am with thee, for I will make a full end of all nations whither I have driven thee. But I will not make a full end of thee, but correct thee in measure, yet will I not leave thee wholly unpunished. This sounds to me like it's a repeat in some kind of way of that it's, I can be completely wrong, but the way I'm reading it, it sounds like it's the current time. They're still following the same. It's about Jeremiah. Um, the beginning says the word of the Lord which came to Jeremiah against the prophet, against the Gentiles, against Egypt, against the army of Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt. So clearly that's not going to be the same king as when Jacob went in there, but he's calling his people now just Jacob. He isn't, well, it said like a couple chapters ago that anybody that goes to Egypt, you're all going to die by the sword, by pestilence, by famine, etc. But he said there will be a few of you that will escape, and the few of you will escape will want to bear my testimony, because you're going to see which God delivered you, and you're going to tell everybody. And it looks like, okay, so this is the second time that the Hebrews have gone now into Egypt. And this is just like us kind of, I don't know how many people there are. It doesn't say. But I think that the Lord is, these are probably the ones that are going to escape, maybe. I don't know. But he sees them as just the same thing as the 400 years that already happened. So he's just saying, he's calling them, oh, Jacob, my servant, for I am with thee, I will make a full end of all nations, whither I have driven thee, but I will not make a full end of thee, but correct thee in measure. Yet will I not leave thee wholly unpunished. That's awesome, right? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like it's going completely back to the first captivity in Egypt. And he's seeing the second incursion, I don't know how many people there are, but this seems to be the second incursion, and the Lord already warned him, do not do it. But it's too late now, they are there, and he's still trying to save them. He's not like, I told you don't go there, and just does them in on the spot, or makes them waste in hunger and pestilence. But he's calling them Yaka, this second group. That's interesting to me. Well, anyway, that's the way I'm getting it. I think it's kind of okay if you don't look up all this stuff, like all the time. Not just because of laziness, but who knows what it's. But that's what it just gave me, and I've been reading this Jeremiah for quite a few chapters without looking. Probably step up, but I really want to get and do descriptions with my underlinings and words that I didn't know, and having all the margins. But yeah, it looks like a second time to Babylon in this Pharaoh Necho. Let's put a picture of him up.